Hello, everybody. Good morning. It is 6:15, 6:16 my time. This is Madden NFL 2006. This is the 49ers versus Seahawks just because I have 49ers set as my favorite team, but I have the St. Louis Rams as the playbook. Why do I have the Rams as the playbook? What am I doing here? What's going on this morning, folks? Last night in an unlisted video, out of respect to the Wild Jeffrey and his views, we did a watch party and watched the fantastic product that he had with season 17 and his Vipers team. And it was weeks 14 through 17 with bonus playoff footage. I'm going to get around to the playoff footage later. But I had some minor feedbacks, not complaints or anything, just feedback to help Wild Jeffrey. And some of it was some goal line play calling, some design, a little bit of design looking for cover two beaters. There were a few different things that I gave feedback on. And one of the things I like to do is teach by example whenever I possibly can. And so this is more of a stream of consciousness. This is not a scripted video. I don't have a list of plays or whatever. I literally went to bed after the last video, woke up here, saw the Discord, and I'm like, I kind of want to think football. I kind of want to wake up on my Saturday morning to do football before I have university this morning as well, all day. I've got university from 7 to noon, and then 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. At least that's the schedule. 13 hours of university with just a small break for lunch. It's all online, so there's no traveling. But my God. So I wanted to take a few minutes out of my life to welcome you here, and we have special teams here on the menu. It says single back big, empty trips, 4 wide receivers, base, trips bunch, normal slot. All of this stuff, there's nothing wrong at all about going goal line with many of these formations, especially in the more modern NFL. Teams are more willing to do things that teams were willing to experiment with in the past. You don't have to go jumbo heavy, run the ball up the gut. But for the purposes of today, let's just imagine like trying to go bigger. Single back doesn't really have anything out of at least the Rams playbook, right? We don't have like a 3 tight end, 1 wide receiver set like Jumbo Z, whatever that we have in some of the other Madden games. At least in this Mike Martz book. So I'm moving forward. However, in the I formation, if I press to the left, we have I form twin tight end. So this is not goal line, but functionally it can be a goal line, right? You've got your double tight ends, you've got your fullback, you've got all that. You've got form tight end. I form twin tight end. 3 wide receivers, not so much, right? But we've got something here. Now, I can reset the ball and put it on the goal line in just a moment, but this is our first formation that we can actually look at stuff with. And when I say that, play action fullback flat, are we going to be calling that play in the goal line? Not really. However, what's wrong with counter strong? Lead dive, halfback sweep, tight end post, you've got some kind of scissors action and a deep ball, so again, don't like it on paper. Wide receiver post, I don't mind the off the line of scrimmage X tight end going to the back pylon. I don't mind that. Maybe something with wide receiver post will have the wide receiver running the back line while the tight end is running the front line. So that's something to look at. Let's do some kind of goal line, random play, current form, all plays of goal line. Usually if I click the left trigger, that often reset the ball. Let's do something that's similar to going for 2. Shall we? We can have it at the 1 yard line, whatever. Okay. I want to see, the very first thing that I want to see here is, do we backline it? Okay. In terms of like going out of bounds or whatever. How tight to the front line is Eric Johnson running? Obviously we've got Barlow back, like front side to the flats. So if we're dead center, let's just say we wanted to focus on Barlow. By the way, I'm pressing the A button. Like I'm holding the right trigger, I press the A button, which is the X button on the PlayStation 2. So if I press X here, yeah, it's his button, B button, but the A button. So I don't know what button you would do on PS2, but this should have the QB vision centered, but I also have QB vision off. Now, again, this is just stream of consciousness, nothing scripted, and I was just trying to force to go to white button here. We didn't know what the play was, but just slinging it out there. Getting to the top of our drop, boop, and then just flicking it out and hoping that we can get something going. I don't know, maybe with a better quarterback we can get a little bit better play going. We drop back. See, we back foot it. And we just make it. Now, see, I'm the kind of player that likes to play without pressing the sprint button. I've said that before many times. I like the full control, and I also like... I feel that the computer does not actually use the sprint button in most of these games. Throwing a little too early. Didn't let him finish the full drop back. But just a little flick out is just a classic way to get in. Not saying I love it. Drop back. Right? And it's like a little battle. It's not the worst. Right? It's not the worst play. You've got space out there. And then it's you versus the corner. Right? There's going to be slider settings. There's going to be the strength and break tackle of your running back and all that. Not a bad decision. Okay. So, some of the other things I wanted to look at when we were looking at some of these routes. Yeah. How are they running the route to B? Not formation shift. I'm going to try to force it to X a little bit here and monitor what's going on with B. Hit the back of our drop. And it's just a little floater, and that's fine. Like I said, I just want to see what animations look like. Yeah, before I... Yeah. I was going to say, I finished my drop, I said before. Before he makes his cut, we've already finished our drop. Right? Wherever we're going with the football, we finished our drop, and our arm is cocked, and we're flicking it out here to the pylon. We're trying to flick it out here to that back pylon. Right? Maybe we're throwing it over here in the middle, and we haven't even truly broken yet. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We're just watching the play development here. Right? I think that quarterback eyes on, we're probably dropping back like this. And what are we looking for? Right? A core thing that I'm looking for, are they vacating the middle of the field? Like, and now we're like trying to get into the weeds of the play, right? So as we're dropping back, I see the middle of the field wide open. Why would I not throw it to Eric Johnson here? Right? Why wouldn't I? If it's cleared out, why wouldn't I throw to Eric Johnson? And if there's traffic, if there's a cluster, well, I'm probably not throwing to Johnson or here, right? Just having a cluster of bodies in some form or fashion should tell me, do I have my back leaking out? Right? Especially if there's not a cluster, why isn't there a cluster? Right? Is he being, like, is this guy in flat coverage out here and he's being left alone to throw to? Is there not a cluster of bodies because he came down, he dropped back, and then he flew out to the flats? Like, where is the motion of the defense to tell me what are the visual cues and tells without me having to look at the entire screen? If I were just this quarterback, that is my 625 alarm, so let's do that. If I'm quarterback's eyes, dropping back, can I see the whole field? No. But as I'm dropping back, this also is just telling me this clear lane to throw, Eric Johnson, right? But I'm looking for those other tells like, will my flats be wide open? Should I look to the back pylon? So, definitely like it. Keep going formation shift, because these different Madden games have little pre-play control differences. So 06, I'm just not mentally ready for. I've been playing a lot of 03, 04 in college and all that. So yeah, why'd I just go back there? Because what I just said. I dropped back and I'm like, it's muddy. It's muddy. Right? It's congested. And when it's congested, it's like, why is it congested? Is he wide open? Maybe I could have made that throw. But I'm already making a decision. As I'm dropping back, I'm like, nobody over here, nobody in this cluster of bodies. Not Patrick Kearney, who would later play like both linebacker for Atlanta, not later, earlier would play defensive end. He would play linebacker. He'd go back to defensive end. Patrick Kearney, 55, which is Sharper? Yeah, Jamie Sharper. Kearney, Sharper, 52, I forget right now. Simmons, yes. Like, none of these three, not even the safety, no one shot out to the sidelines, right? So I'm also putting a little trust that the corner isn't going to leave my guy completely uncovered. And as he gets upfield, it's like, I already know I have two 49ers and one defender. I'm going to give it to my running back and tell him to shoulder charge right through the corner, which is what he does. No sprint button, but I will use the truck stick, folks. So we're looking Y button to white button. And there we go. So it tried to escape. I didn't push that button. I don't know if like the game had some weird little like thing that they were doing. But again, what do I see? They're evacuating, right? They're leaving the area. Right? All the civilians will be protected. Evacuate. They're leaving everything. So the flats are just like taken away, most likely taken away. But the whole field is vacated. And I'm like, if I just finish my drop back and I'm ready, I can get this ball out to Eric Johnson. And I did, and I did a little bit of pass lead to the right, and there we go. So I don't love what's happening here with my wide receiver Lloyd. Come on. Offense, wide receiver post. Goal line, random current formation, all plays. B button, right thumbstick up. Okay, I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make. Right thumbstick to the right. Nothing. Left. Nothing. Right thumbstick. Nothing. Left. What's going on here, folks? Okay, yeah, right thumbstick does do stuff. I don't know why it kind of locked me out of stuff. Okay, those are the playmaker options. Do I really want to cross here? I really don't want to make congestion where there wasn't congestion. We might play around with this. Wow, I pushed Y. I'll tell you why I pushed Y. Because I'm so used to these other games where Y is bring up the passing menu and I wanted to run with the football. I literally saw this. I saw the edge. I saw everything. I saw how they were just completely vacating and playing very, very, very passive rush. Like, even out of goal line, they're in super passive rush. And I pressed the Y button thinking, like, I'm going to bring the passing icon down and then just run in for a touchdown. And I threw it! Because Brendan Lloyd is our primary receiver, we can also just flick the right thumbstick without having to do anything else. Not so bad, right? It is just A to scramble. That's nice. Okay. You drop back. There's congestion. That told you that's our key. We're not reading our players. We're reading our keys. There's congestion. And as there's congestion, they're also spread out. Like, my eyes go here, especially as right-handed quarterback. Like, there's congestion. What do we have? Nothing. Since I also know we have nothing, this is the next part of the teaching. If I know we've got nothing, why the fuck would I scramble there? Right? I'm not going to create something out of nothing. So I also know in the back of my mind, since this ain't shit, this is my only other choice. I'm either going to run it in or I'm going to get it to X. So it's time to run it in. And guess what? He says, hey, he's running the ball. And I'm like, well, it turns out when you do that, you leave my guy wide open. So I'm going to hit my dude. And I'm going to strut off the field. I feel like a boss. Right? So we're primarily looking for the middle of the gap to go to Eric Johnson. We're going to see how the flats work out. And if not, we can escape to the left. And then we just got clean tackled by the corner, right? They had a little drift. Maybe Johnson, but no. This is, not only is it getting delayed, but there's congestion. Yeah, this is an either flick it out like I did or take it and run it against the linebacker. I don't think I want to get crushed as the quarterback. I think I can beat this player to the corner. And I pretty much do. Like, it's the cornerback. It's the bad throw underneath. Like, the physical bad throw by the quarterback. I didn't press pass lead down or anything. And the fact that the corner said, remember when you trucked me? I can truck too, fool. Nice. So yeah, reading Y to white and escaping out to X. I wonder how much changing this route... Yeah, this is probably ruining my design. It's probably keeping me from having the best in the flats. So don't even change it at all, folks. I don't like removing a receiving threat from a play, but I like how Lloyd draws coverage away from the flats. I like how he goes upfield and doesn't draw attention towards Eric Johnson. So, wouldn't call him like a full decoy, but that quick inside release tells me there might be a possibility of a quick little inside like slant throw if I'm just trying to force it right now. Oh, he got pushed outside. Wow. That's why I'm just trying to like do forcing, right? Nice little tutty. Right, nice little tutty. I did a user drop back. I pressed the L stick down. And I went like user 3-step. User 3-step. Give me 3 steps of mister. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I would perfectly user step that. And they blitz the corner. Let's go, bro. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Again, mentally, like, thinking the Y button is there, and I pulled the right trigger, and I'm pretty sure I pulled the right trigger because I'm thinking 2K5. I guess 2K5 is the run the button button. But yeah, like, you can see, I'm running the ball. God. You know, you need to get accustomed to which game you're playing, because there's so many little micro different controls. But you can tell my reaction. My instant user reaction was, I drop back, I'm trying to force it to B. No, that's stupid. Like, there's congestion. Let's see if I can go to Y. Like, I'm literally trying to make reads in a small pocket, and I'm like, it's time to bail. There's a touchdown right here. And just my natural trigger finger did that. Right? Yeah, we have a legitimate shot to just man someone up. Receiver versus corner. And that little inside break can be enough. Just twist and turn him and get the ball there, right? There's a lot of value in that, folks. All right. Denny's in the comments says, what's up? Jesus Christ, cat. Bro just got attracted by something, launched, and then hit my mouse wire. And just threw it across the floor. Buddy, come here. Don't be scared. Come on, buddy. Yeah, no, he's scared of what he did himself. I mean, there's an expression, scaredy cat, right? I love you, boy. Yeah, come on. Okay, he's getting more courage. I love him. Go on, we're live, folks. Right? So that's a lot of time on wide receiver post, but do you think I need to spend a lot of time on halfback sweep? I mean, come on, you run the ball outside and then you get the touchdown, right? Current form, all plays. Like, okay, folks, here's the breakdown. We pitch the ball outside, and then we get in the end zone. There's our breakdown, folks. Glad to have you here. You totally needed me for that. You know, counter strong, current form, all plays. No, not current form. Counter strong, goal line, all plays. Faking to the right, but then it's going like this. And this I had to hold sprint. We were not going to make it without sprint. That's why I don't like doing sprint. I also don't like the fact that we just, in a counter play, shouldn't we be down blocking like down blocking across the board a lot, not forward reach blocking on a counterplay. We should be down blocking, picking up here, not letting 3, 4, like letting the entire train of the defense in at the quarterback, the handoff point. God, that's awful, isn't it? And we were running towards the threat. Right? That was awful. Everyone set up. No block on the outside. Oh, I don't like this stuff. Yeah, I don't like... He doesn't know who to block. You're going to go, like, say hi to Jessica Simpson, your future wife. Yes, Eric Johnson's married to Jessica Simpson, if I remember correctly. Where are you going, Eric? Where are you going, Aaron Walter? Like, you look like you want to block 58 here. And then you're like, no, I'll block the safety who I wasn't originally targeting. What a mess. And Fred Beasley's like, yeah, let's go corner. It's just you and I. Oh, shit. So, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah, this is a shit show on top of a shit show. Let's go. So don't like it. And that's why you go into practice and you don't call it in a live game. Halfback weak dive. Random play current form all plays. We're looking at like 7 minutes or less. And we're just trying to find some blocks. And it seems like it'd be very easy, but you know how often in these Madden and NCAA games that they just don't even acknowledge this guy's existence and he comes in and he just ruins everything? Right? Or how often Eric Johnson or someone goes like, I don't know who you are. You don't exist in front of me. I'm going to go block the safety. And then you're like, oh, hey, he's going to kick this guy and I've got the edge, or I'm going to split between these two or whatever. And you're just like completely blown up. And here I'm just like, no sprint. And just trying to read if Fred Beasley's going to do anything. And then just kind of wiggle my way in without sprint. Okay, with the line shift like that, do we not just have our 2 guards and our third guy, our fullback, against the 2 down linemen and the edge? Yeah, just a little walk-in like that. Blocked. This guy off the edge. Center did take the mic. Try to follow Fred. See, this is the kind of stupid shit I'm talking about. What are we doing? No one knows who to block at all. At least we're able to walk in. Okay, with the linebacker shift. Yeah, we're just walking in, right? So I think it's solid. Okay. So counter strong, no. Lead, dive, yes. Sweep, yes. Wide receiver post, we spent a lot of time on that. I talked about at length the way the fullback strong dive is. Let's go random play current form all plays. Well, if they're going to shift like that, I don't need to do anything. Right? We'll just fall in. Right? But here is the goal that we want. And I couldn't get the right control as a user there. It felt like I wanted to run in this little triangle here. But the game took me outside. Like, I feel like I didn't have true control until right here of steering up. It felt like the game wanted me to just go like that. Maybe it was trying to tell me, Paul, you don't need to go right up the middle. You can literally just go this way. Trust me, bro. And I'm like, no, I don't trust you. Like, this shit is why I don't trust you. Can you just fucking block this guy? He's not even doing a break block. You're literally ignoring his existence so you can roll up and go somewhere else. Kind of shit I don't like. So it's trying to play action, but it's not trying to fake the pitch. That's interesting. We got 4 minutes or less before I want to cut this off, do coffee and things like that. What else? This is really the last set of the plays, right? And then slam should be very obvious. We don't have to spend too much time on slam. right? We just run to the weaker side of the defense and just walk in, right? Just walk it in, right? That pretty obvious. Just find the weakness and go left or right and just walk it in. Don't even need to hit sprint. Curls. Love and hate the curls. Okay? Not a big fan of having only routes that all just stop and you have no other movement. It's a little curl flat action here with B to white. Mr. White! Right? We're trying to read what is the body language we want, if that's what we're looking for. As he turns, he meaning the corner turns, is that the tell that no one's going to be out here? And then we flick it out, and he's like, well, look, I can cover that too, right? So what is the tell, what is the read that we're looking for here? As he goes to intercept it, right? Like, let's say we trust it, like, the blitz is coming, right? I'm just trying to go through the motions and what the tells are, right? If he's truly being pulled, that should be an interception, right? I need to go into settings, gameplay, AI. Yeah, the computer I have set up, but I don't have the human stuff set up. Okay. So what is the tell of B and white? Oh, that's a pretty easy tell if he could get the ball out. Ah, see, he's falling off like that. That's an interesting tell. Okay. He does that stuff. Okay, so that's still part of the question. It's kind of like a 2 flat, right? This is what I don't like about a lot of these plays. I'm hitting my drop, and it's not clean. Nothing is clean. No options are clean here. He can kind of cover both, because if you try to throw it, he can just drift and cut it off. And if you throw it flat here, he can just come up and get you. Plus, there's also help of the inside curl here by Jamie Sharper to cut off the path too. So this is a very muddy read. And before I even throw, these guys are in no position to do anything, nor do they have a good clean read. And again, they're all stop routes. So I don't like the fact that we have no ongoing movement if we're trying to scramble, if that makes any sense. I know there's playmaker controls, whatever. I just don't like it. I don't think it beats what we're looking to do. And what, we haven't looked at the play action, we haven't looked at the tight end post. I wrote it off initially, but let's at least be scientifically fair, right? First, what is this play action? It's faking to that side and getting sacked. Okay, what a wonderful play. I can't wait to try it again. So it's trying to fake the slam. Okay, so they've shifted the line like this, and we're clearly going to do, oh yeah, ready, set, we're going to do the right-hand side of slam. I'm just getting rid of the ball, and it is in the end zone, and that is nice. So the pre-snap, we've got this. Our color keyword is black or whatever. You know, black 19, whatever. Black 18, like we want to hit here, whatever. And then we're going to hand it off just like we did. They thought we were going to do. And he's going to tackle the guy. Oh, you got to stop on the goal line, buddy. You got it. Celebrate, Jamie Sharper. Woo! Goal line stop. Oh, except he doesn't have the fucking ball. Tricked you, bitch. Alright, so with that, you can even see the corners like, no, it's the run, no, it's the pass. And then we're just like wide open for the touchdown, right? See, that's much better. But what are our other choices? Right, the game did this auto kind of roll position to a stop. It finished all of this. Here, 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 ready for me to throw. And we actually have 2 choices, 3 in total, but we've got this triangle of options, right? We've got the high, we've got the low. We obviously can just run, walk it in. We've got some back line. But Walker is the question. Okay, I'm pressing hot route, X button, right thumbstick down. Nothing happened. X button, D-pad to the right. Let's shorten his route. Yeah, out of bounds. But what are we doing? We're faking it. Then we get full control. Everything's taken away to the flats. We're doing our scramble drill. And as we do our scramble drill, our receiver, who's also stepped out of bounds and is no longer eligible, maybe. But both of these guys start peeling back from the sideline instead of staying stationary, which pulls defenders away. They don't just stand in the corner and wave their arms. And there's a little crossing action now, right? And a little confusion pulling defenders away. And we've got a pylon that we can run to, but also just the attempt to toss it. Stay in bounds, bro. I like a lot of it. And then with the Walker change of route. Yes, it's at a different level. Right? And it's not completely front of the line, but it's doing something. I'm wondering if having him curl way backside. Getting sacked, that's fine with me. No protection off the roll. Right, he gets off the block right there. And then, like, you can tell this computer, like, animation where it's like, it just refuses to block for you. You almost have to have that as an instant tell. Yeah. I mean, Tim Rattay has no speed, and I don't expect him to have speed. But you can tell here. I mean, yeah, you throw it to black here, but I'm just kind of, like, looking at the routes. Fake it. I'm just trying to look at the routes. Because the other thing is the fullback. Yeah, he does this. The runner, if he doesn't get tackled, he's supposed to curl up in the middle. Is this something we want to do? I'm thinking this might be something we want to do with Walker since he gets stuck in traffic. And at least it would hold a defender. Hopefully, potentially hold the defender if and when we have to scramble. But obviously, like, at the handoff, you just then flick it out to the flats, right? So I don't hate it. I'm already past the time I should be. I'm T-minus 11 minutes till class. But we have one more play tied in post. Random play, all plays. I don't like what B is doing right now because we've practiced that before with B and white. And how he can take that away as one man. He can cover two people as one man. Ooh. Okay. So, B button. Ah, if I change... I can change who my... Okay. I can actually pre-snap. Change who my primary is so I can make adjustments. Oh, I like that. Now I should have double backline threats with the scissor combination. And then some, not crossing, but some exchange with B and white. And now he's left alone. So, right trigger, change the primary, do that. And you've just got like a little... You know, are you going to give me white? Or are you going to give me B? And then these guys should be, like, backlining, right? And earlier we had Walker going out here, and now we've got an exchange with Eric Johnson going out here. And the little rub. We've also got back pylon stuff. So I think this is another situation where we should know, as we're dropping back, we're either flicking it out to white... Throwing it to B, like we're throwing to B, white, whatever, but we're scrambling weak side to try to get the ball to Eric Johnson. Right? And that's exactly what we ended up getting as we dropped back and we saw them flare out, right? Just that instant flare, that instant check for me. Okay, he's flaring. Like, I don't know that he's actually going to stop right here and then actually ignore it or whatever. We can do that more in practice, and yeah, he does end up respecting it, right? Before it's an issue. So yeah, by that flaring out, we literally got that, which means I know pre-snap I have no business scrambling that way. It's not going to do anything for me, but yeah, I do have every right to scramble this way and draw his attention to stop me from running in as a quarterback and throwing it to the back line. Right? So I like those plays. In summary of today's practice, at least in the Mike Martz playbook, we looked at I form twin tight end. Don't like counter. I enjoy play action fullback flat more than I expected. Lead dive works. Tight end post with hot routing B to a drag. Wide receiver post to me seems fine. There's even the possibility of maybe doing the same pull a drag with the post. Otherwise, we're just running the same play at a certain point, aren't we? I mean, at a certain point, tight end post and wide receiver post are just becoming the same play with just an exchange. We're going to Walker or not, which is nice. Like, at least you're keeping the defense honest, but otherwise it's the same play, right? Halfback sweep seems kind of fine sometimes. Fullback dive strong. Wasn't loving it. Slam seemed fine. Yeah, that's a good review. All right, I'm behind schedule, but not late for class because I'm 8 minutes before class. I'm going to do whatever I can to help out, make a coffee, and start class, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you had a great time as I had a great time making this with you this morning. See you next time.